The name of this puzzle is Cast Quartet. Its difficulty is 6 out of 6, and it comes with 4 pieces, and they're all angle shaped like a diamond, with 2 sides that are acute and 2 more sides that are obtuse. So the goal is to get each one of these apart, and there's 2 different solutions, so we'll go through each one here. The first one I'll stick with the easier solution that many people may get, and the second one's this interesting way of doing it where you actually swivel a piece around. So to get started, we want to swivel this piece so that that L is kind of at the bottom so that we can lift it up and swivel it across. So I'll show you what I mean in a second here. But first thing to note is that we want on this top piece, the obtuse angle on the left. So obtuse angle on the left, and then this sharp edge right there. So we split the top piece apart a little bit, just like that. Then lift this piece up and over. Just like that. So when you split it apart, it allows that leg to sit in it a little bit. So once it's over, you can move this bottom piece here in my right hand up. And as you're rotating it, spin it around that elbow. And then with this left piece, you're going to want to spin it 90 degrees in the counterclockwise position. And then you should be able to push these 2 pieces right out of one another. So that piece for both solutions is going to be the same. And then this next part is going to be different for each one. So this first part, we split each part kind of in a grid like that, and then pull these 2 apart. And as we're doing that, we're going to lift that piece up and lift the second piece up. And then they should come right apart. This one here. And this piece comes out as well. So that's the first part of this puzzle. Something to note as well is all these gaps aren't quite the same. There is a tighter one right there. So that one's going to come in use later on when we do the second solution. The second way to solve this puzzle is by starting out the same way that we did the first way, where you drop them down, then you slide this one over to the left. Then you take this other piece, loop it around as you turn it. And then the piece on the left, 90 degrees counterclockwise, and then you push both those pieces through each other. So this should look familiar. To solve the puzzle from here, we see which piece on the bottom rotates upwards, which is the piece in our right hand. So turn these other 2 pieces to the left side and get their gaps kind of lined up a little bit. Twist this piece in our right hand up and feed it through those 2 gaps, and then it should slide right out fairly easily. And then slide this piece out. And that's solution number 2. So the first way we're going to put this back together is to find the piece with the smallest gap and the matching piece. So these 2 are the ones that go together. So these 2 are going to be our centerpieces that hook in. So we take them and we put them through the other pieces. And then we allow those other pieces to stand up like that. Now we push those pieces together, and then we lift that one and put it in, and also lift the other one and put it in. Slide them together, and this should look familiar. So now we hook these pieces together, and then we want to rotate this piece in our left hand 90 degrees clockwise. That'll give us enough room to turn and bring this one back. And since we turned it, we have enough room to put this leg through that tiny gap and bring this piece over and finish solving the Cast Quartet puzzle. The second way to put this one back together is to find the piece with the small gap and see which one it matches up with. And then find the other two pieces, put them together, just so you know how they fit. Take them apart while you swivel it. Put those gaps together, and then squeeze them through this one. Slide them over to the left and line up those gaps again. And then put on the piece with a small gap. See how it swivels down like that? Do that over top of these two pieces. Swivel the other piece around, and now we're left with this. So, like we did earlier, bring them together, turn the piece in our left hand 90 degrees clockwise, swivel the piece in the right hand around while you're turning it, open the brackets up, and after you have that piece in the gap, swivel this last piece around. And that's how you solve the Cast Quartet. Thanks for watching.